Let's wind on that second one. Pulled that one. That one went right. That was me. Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be on a topic that I don't see often talked about a lot, and I feel it is very important for you on your journey to becoming a long-range shooter and getting into this type of sport. And that is on the topic of Mirage. And what I want to talk about today is what is it, what are the effects that it is going to have on you as the shooter downrange, and what are some things, some cues you're going to want to look for, things that are going to help you when, one, reading wind, and also being able to diagnose misses and what might be going on for your rifle. So let's go ahead, let's set the scenario. You are setting up a stage, you are running various targets at various distances with your rifle, and say you've got targets set up at 4, 6, and 800 yards. So say you take your first shots at 400 yards, your dope is perfect, everything is hitting exactly where it needs to be, dead center of the target, everything's good to go. Move out to 600 yards, exact same thing is going on. You either dial in or you hold on your optic, everything is perfect, your dope is lining up exactly where it needs to be, and everything is good to go. And then you move on out to the 800 and whatever yard line, and your shots start to miss either high or low. You start to get flustered, you don't exactly understand what it is that is going on, and you end up timing out of the stage and completely failing. What is it that is going on? So first I want to premise the fact of what Mirage is. So Mirage is going to be where the different air densities at distance are meeting, and the distortion that it is causing through the air and the way that the light refracts. A couple of things that this is going to do that is going to really greatly help you as the shooter is, one, your ability to read and call wind. So the way that Mirage is going to work is, generally speaking, you're going to start with what we call a boiling Mirage. It seems as if the Mirage is moving straight up. We call this a boiling Mirage. Usually what is going on here is either A, you have a complete headwind or complete tailwind, so wind's coming from either the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock, or you have no wind at all. These two things are going to cause what we call a boiling mirage. Now what's going to end up happening as that wind angle increases from either right to left or left to right, you're going to start to notice the mirage to dance in the given direction compared to where the wind is going. The mirage is actually going to tell you the wind direction, and once you get a little bit of experience under your belt, you'll also be able to gauge accurately the wind speed downrange. These are things that I actually use during matches, and I actually use at the most recent quantified performance match that I went to be able to accurately gauge wind and get my hits. I was able to deduce what direction the wind was going, roughly where it was at, and I was able to fire and relatively quickly get my hits on the target, and it was able to greatly help and assist me. All right, now let's move into the second area in which Mirage is going to have an effect on you as the shooter, and that being the vertical dispersion that you are going to be experiencing. I actually went out today and I wanted to capture on camera exactly what it is that happens, so you guys can actually see from the spotting scope point of view where my shots are impacting, and I can kind of give you guys a visual representation of how much exactly of an effect that it has. Now, generally speaking, Mirage is going to have the most effect out to about 500 yards and further out, but it can be closer depending on the severity and where the target location is to the ground, as well as the shooter. So what you will notice here as I went out to distance, 300 and 400 yards, my rounds were pretty much hitting dead center of where I wanted to aim. I did make a bit of a miscalculation at the, I think, 400 yard line, where the first round went a little bit right and I held too much wind and I hit left edge of the target. Running a 308, used to running a 5.56. So not quite used to the wind calls with this yet. I haven't put as many rounds through this as I have my 5.56, obvious reasons, more expensive. But what you will notice is once I started to push out the distance, it started at 500 yards and then all the way out to 6, is you'll notice that my shots started to trend low. And the reason being is Mirage is going to cause a refracting effect to where it is actually going to cause the target to appear in a different location to the shooter versus where it's actually at downrange. The closer that you get to the ground, the more magnified that this effect is actually going to be for you. And that's something that you're going to notice all the way down here. So once I started shooting at distance, the 500 yard line, I had fired my first round and the round impacted low just underneath the target, I would say about a minute and a half below of center of my point of aim on the target. Fired a second round, again it happened there too. Fired a third round after I made a correction and hit dead center of the plate. I ended up dialing almost a full minute up and then holding slightly high on the plate as well to get that hit. Moved on out further, 530 yards, exact same thing happened. Rounds trended low. My wind call was perfect. I hit the post on one of those and then making a correction and making my hits by holding higher. Same thing at the 550 yards, and then the 600 yard, you'll notice that the effects of this were greatly magnified. And I actually took some video through my scope so that way I can play it for you guys. You can see exactly what it is that I am seeing downrange. And what you will notice is, it's really cool that you can see it, there's a circle painted on the center of that target. And if you kind of look at the center of that target, I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to translate through the footage, but it looks like that circle, instead of it being a perfect circle, it's kind of distorted and there's an 8 looking there. It kind of looks like a figure 8. And what is actually happening is the target is higher than where it's actually appearing to me downrange. Thus, my shots all trended significantly low to the point where they were all hitting in the belly. Now again, keep in mind, I had a chronograph sitting next to the rifle. These weren't slow rounds. I have a 3.2 standard deviation on this rifle, and I fired 43 rounds today, and that's what my SD ended up being for this rifle here. And I am running about 2687 feet per second out of this gun, and my shots were still trending low according to my point of aim. And what is going on there is the light bending and refracting through the Mirage, through the different air densities, and it appearing in a different location than what it is to actually be the shooter. So just something that you're going to want to keep in mind whenever you are engaging these targets at distance is you're going to need to understand that Mirage is going to play a little bit of a trick on the image. Now, a lot of the times the way that people are going to get around this is get higher up off the ground. The closer you are to the ground, the more this is going to be magnified. What's actually happening here is the sun is heating the ground, and the heat from the ground is causing the air at ground level to be warmer than the air that is above it. So whenever these two airs meet, what's happening is the air at the ground is wanting to rush at an upwards level because heat rises. The air of the ground is wanting to go under it, and that is what's causing the refraction that you are actually seeing downrange. And that's what the figure 8 that you're seeing is. The two different air densities are playing a role there. So again, guys, Mirage is something that is going to be extremely important for you, the shooter, to understand. The only real way to get good at reading Mirage is to actually get out and look at it and shoot through it and understand it. And one of the things that I like to do with new shooters is throw them on a spotting scope and tell them, pay attention to the vapor trail of the round, where the round is going, watch the Mirage, and understand how the round is reacting real time in the environment. So whenever you actually get down behind the optic or down behind the rifle, you will have a better understanding of the external ballistics of different calibers. If you're somebody that's shooting the quantified performance style matches, bring your own spotting scope, and whenever it's not your turn to shoot, just sit there and spot and observe for everybody and learn what it is that is going on downrange. Again, this is a little bit more of a technical, but I'm wanting to get this in as much of layman terms for you guys to understand as I possibly can. I don't want to overcomplicate things and give you a massive data dump. People are just going to switch their brains off, but I want you to be able to accurately understand. So, again, to rehash, Mirage is a great tool for you to shoot downrange, but it can also be a hindrance if you do not understand what it is that's going on. And the way that you learn this and understand this is through getting out, running your gun, and trading. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any more questions, drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate y'all watching.